Right, everyone. So I just want to say welcome. This is ChatGPT. Obviously, is a huge groundbreaking technology that's hit the world, and I just kind of want to go over a little bit of the basics. It's crazy to me that only 13% of people have used ChatGPT. The ChatGPT is going to change the foundations of society, like far greater than I think even the internet has. And I was talking to Tony, I think, about this, but the AI advancement is incredible, and it's going to shake the whole bedrock of society. There's no doubt about it. And so, I think it's really important that you guys all kind of get with it in terms of exposing yourself to it, because it really helps out a lot. It helps you do a lot. It helps you. It's like a lot of people kind of equated to being like a calculator for a mathematician. Now you don't have to do kind of the grunt work of, what's 7 times 7 or 12 times, 43. You don't have to do these type of calculations anymore. Now you can kind of sit back and let the calculator do these type of calculations, and you can kind of be the mastermind on how things work. So with AI, it has really changed the game in so many ways. One of the ways is that before, AI was really just available to those who were coders or scientists, whatever. Now that is open up to chat. Now anyone can communicate to AI, and so I want to kind of go over some of the cool things that we can do on AI nowadays. So let me share my screen. Oh, by the way, I should introduce myself. I always forget to do this, but my name is AJ. I'm with Popcorn Robot. So we're a coding school, and we're actually digging deep with AI, because AI is such a big thing. It's going to help you code. It amplifies everything you want to do. Like a bicycle amplifies your ability to traverse a distance. AI is going to help you code faster. But anyways, we're a coding school. My name, I teach at UCLA. I also teach at Popcorn Robot. Before that, I was a coder in the field. I was a software consultant working about 15 years. And some of my companies I work with were like Honda, the car company, Allergan, this pharmaceutical company, News Corp, which is like the media company that owns Fox and all that stuff. So these are just some of the things I've done. And AI really astounded me, because this is something that I didn't even know was around the corner. I thought this was at least 10, 15 years. Nothing really came out to me saying that this was close. And then when it hit, I could not believe this is real. It was like living in science fiction. And what's astounding to me too is that it has really shaken up the world, and it's only been released like November. So it's barely in this toddler infancy stage. So we haven't even seen it really kick into overdrive. And so that's where I think is really exciting, because here we are with probably the most powerful technology the world's ever seen, and we don't even know what it's really capable of. Okay? So that's my little thing about it. Let me kind of show you what we can do. Let me do this. Did this work? Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me reload. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Doing sure. Okay. So you guys can see my screen as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So one of the things that I find GPT to be really, really powerful with is it is a great brainstorming tool. So let's say that you're like, okay, so I think this is super huge. So you know how people get into that creative block, the writer's block? I feel that AI to begin with has completely obliterated that from humanity now. So let's say you're like, okay, I've always wanted to create a board game, right? Like now with ChatGPT, now you can go ahead and do that. So let's imagine I'm like saying like, okay, give me some board game ideas involving teamwork and an evil mole who is working against us. I like Star Wars and sci-fi themes, right? Then you can, it will actually give you some themes. Actually, let me change this. Can you change it? Give me 10 sample themes. And what it'll do is it'll work on the conversation. So this whole conversation thread is actually going to continue. It'll remember what you're saying. So I said this here, and then it's going to continue to build off of this concept. And so it gives you all these different sample ideas, and which is really great because think about it. I mean, this is awesome. Like AI, like you have all these, you know, starship warfare, your team's managing a warship in epic space battles, and someone's trying to undermine your strategies, or your team is an intergalactic crew responsible for exploring new planets and civilizations, but someone's trying to sabotage your missions. Like, what is amazing about this is that you can really kick off so many ideas. So it really just gets your creativity percolating, right? And then if you wanted to, you know, let's say that you wanted to expand on this, you just say, expand on alien resistance. Make it about make the story about some evil president trying to trying to let aliens attack civilization, your world, whatever, right? And so it can actually, and it'll go and expand on that. So that's incredible to me because now, if you're like, you can use it to kind of prune and massage your stories now. My goodness, this is so good. This is so good. It's so good. It's almost like you're stealing somebody's ideas. It's wild. I still can't believe how crazy it is. I mean, look at it. They have the theme and setting, and then they have to protect your colonies. How look at this. They even give you like the gameplay that you can play. My gosh. Look at this. I didn't do anything. All I did is ask a stupid question. Amazing. This is amazing. And you can use this to kind of build out your board game. Look at this whole thing. Theme settings, gameplay, objectives. My gosh, this is amazing. Yeah, so this is ChatGPT, and they're constantly training it to get better. And this is just wild to me. I mean, and you know, this thing goes far beyond this. If you wanted to go and say like, hey, you know, give me some, you know, I'll even leave my misspellings. Give me some ideas for my kid's 8-year-old birthday party. She likes Frozen and Marvel superheroes. Give me 10 ideas. And this can even help you plan out your, you know, 8-year-old kids like birthday parties. Like, how amazing is this? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. But yeah, and let's say that I wanted to stop it and say, make it something on a budget. Then it can, again, it can kind of, you know, it can kind of like curtail and prune the ideas it's getting so that fits what you want. So that's a really amazing thing about ChatGPT. It can really go out and and brainstorm for you. It can give you so many ideas, so that really you should never, almost at this point where you should never feel like you're ever at writer's block or you don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, hit ChatGPT to come up with as many ideas as you can come up with. And at one point, something's going to kind of hit for you, and something is going to be like, you know, something's going to hit for you, and something's going to make you like happy with what you have. Like, and let's say that you have aspirations to make like a YouTube. You want to be a YouTube influencer, right? And let's say you want to do like short stories. This again is the same thing. Like, you can use it to come up with ideas. Oh, I don't know what to make for my YouTube channel. Okay, then I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to make 1-minute videos. Give me some fun, what do you call it? Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what the word is. Fun skit ideas. I can film in my backyard with my 15-year-old teenager son. So I'll even lead. The big thing, I'll tell you, I don't have to fix all my misspellings. That's fine. It'll understand me. And that's how great it is. So again, I think this is a great chance for you guys to really explore your creativity, because now that this is allowing us to open up the world and brainstorm and try different, you can really do anything you want now. And so if you guys ever feel like you're out of ideas, want to brainstorm something, this is probably one of the best tools I've ever seen to give you ideas that you want. And again, you can prune it so that it really fits what you're trying to do. Okay. So that's something I thought was amazing. And that is it. Any questions about brainstorming that you guys have? Yep. I'm going to make everything except I'm going to put up the recording after. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask out right now. Okay, so brainstorming is the first one. I use it a lot for brainstorming. What the second one I use it for is, okay, writing. Now, writing is also another painful thing. Now, I know, sorry, constantly having to do this. Let me see if we can do this better. It's better if I do this. All right, maybe this would be better. Okay. So one of the most difficult things about writing is that we oftentimes have a hard time getting started. Like, think about it. The most challenging part about writing is usually that first draft. And so now ChatGPT has now officially taken over that. Again, that's the most painful one. So let's go and say, like, okay, you want to write an email to your boss saying you're going to take time off, right? So send short email to my boss. Tell them I am taking time off to visit my sick father. Will be out for 3 weeks. Huh? What's going on? And now, if you do this, you'll see that it comes up with a quick email. It's really powerful. My gosh, it is awesome. It even tells you that if there's any paperwork or further steps I need to undertake, to formalize this issue. Like, amazing. It covers so many of your bases. So what's really great, again, is that, man, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I literally spent like 1 or 2 hours writing an email. I can't even believe I waste so much time doing it. But yeah, but now if you're having ChatGPT write your emails, you don't need to do that anymore. Now you can just mind dump, and ChatGPT will like organize this email for you. So let's do another one. So send email to client, some e-commerce platform, server is down, will be down for an hour, working with tech support need more, I don't know, I'm trying to come up this stuff on the fly, need more money for CPU power, something like that, right? And what will happen is that this will kind of organize this mind dump that you put in there and write all this stuff for you. So now at this point, so what we have to change the way we're thinking about things. And this hits all the way into education as well, because there's a lot of people, like a lot of teachers are struggling with ChatGPT. I see, because I'm reading ChatGPT forums all the time, and one of the most common things is that people or students are complaining that they're getting dinged by the ChatGPT reader, and they're exposing that they were using ChatGPT. And I think one of the things is, as an educator, is that we have to step back and say, hey, you know what? Like, things are changing. We're no longer needing to write this stuff from scratch anymore. And what we are more doing is editing. We're more editors than we are. We're more editors than writing from scratch now. So now what we're really trying to do is just, fit the thing to work to what we're trying to do. So if you do this, then it will help you get your emails out faster, help you write whatever you need to write faster. So I use it to write product descriptions. I use it to write my meetup descriptions. If you guys read my meetup descriptions, they're all ChatGPT. And so before it would take me a really long time to think about what to say, but now I don't have to say it anymore. Now I'm like, okay, I want to convey this point. I want to teach a little meetup class about ChatGPT. What are some good titles that you can come up with? What is a good description that you can write for me? So the whole thing is that people, a lot of times before, we would go and say, like, I want to do this, but I don't know what to do. I want to create a company, but I don't know what to create. I want to create a YouTube channel, but I don't know what to create. I want to write a story, but I don't know what to write about. And so now AI is really taking that excuse away from us, because now we can really do whatever we want. It will help us get started. It will help us come up with the ideas. It will help us write. And then at that point, you're just editing and changing. So then you can find your voice through what you see on here. So even like this, like, let's say that I want to change my voice. I mean, here I can just say, write the email as if I were Snoop Dogg, make it 2 paragraphs. And it would go and update that. So we can have our own voice. We can have slide in your inbox. This is awesome. God damn, I love Snoop Dogg. So it really enhances our ability to do all these things that you've ever dreamed of. So, and I think that's why I want to encourage you guys is, think about all these things that it's so funny. It's hilarious. You were thinking about Buddhism. So yeah, what? Huh? What'd you say?
And I said that is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, you really, it's your opportunity, it's your time in life. And so I think, like, just zooming out, I think a lot of you are scared of AI, but I want you to look at it from a different direction. So if you just look back 20 years ago, before the internet was like really like pervasive and everything, like there were gatekeepers to everything. There were gatekeepers to writing, to publishing books. That's why J.K. Rowling had to go through like 12 or 20 publishers, kept getting rejected, and none of them wanted to publish her until one company decided to take a risk, right? And there were these gatekeepers that were preventing us from doing, having that dream life, doing that thing that we always dreamed about. And then now with the internet, then we're able to create content and distribute it out to the rest of the world. And so now that's why we have all these bloggers and all these, sports writers they're not like professionals, but they wrote so well that people started following them. And so they were so good. And that's what the internet did to equalize us. Now with AI, I think that has further taken that step away and taken away the advantages of people who feel like, I feel like something, but I never knew how to get started. AI now allows us to do that. AI now is giving us that ability to go, if you want to write music, if you want to write your own story, you want to make your own YouTube channel, this is all available for you. Now we all truly have no excuses to getting started, because this ChatGPT is what is going to enable us to really like rocket forward. And then we can kind of tell the story that's deep inside, something that's always been deep inside of us, that, always kind of, something deep inside of us that made us really excited, and if there's something there, now you really have no excuse, because now we have this big crutch that is going to help us move forward really quickly. And I say crutch, but it's really more like an accelerator. Oh man, this is really good. So this is something I recently used. So, okay, I have been applying to jobs, right? And I think everyone can agree applying to jobs sucks, right? But this is the thing now. Now ChatGPT can help us a lot with that. So let's imagine I were to go and say, I were to take my resume, and then I were to paste it. Oops, I should need to say this. So I want you to help me write my cover letter. I am going to paste my resume into the message box. Actually, let me make this clear. I want you to help me write my cover letter. I am applying to a software developer job in a bank. I'm going to paste my resume to the message box. Take that and use my skills to be applicable to the finance industry. So I've never worked in the banking industry. Now I'm going to paste my resume in there. And now it's going to go and write. Look at this amazing thing. It's going to write my cover letter for me. So one of the things I found that that has really made this really nice and easy is that AI can, so this is a skill that marketers and salesmen have, is that they can take, like, okay, let's imagine you have this disparate skill and like you're going to apply to this job. How can I make these equate, right? So let me give you another example. So this already shows you this guy, this already wrote my cover letter for me, designed to work for a banking company, right? Whatever, right? So now let's say, forget everything I said, and start over. I used to work as a dancer and waiter. I also delivered pizzas. Help me apply to a job, a technical job. So here, like a lot of times people are like, okay, I was just a dancer and I was a waiter and now I deliver pizzas. I don't have any skills that relate to technical jobs, right? For data analysis. Okay. So now here, let's go see what ChatGPT says. So this is really good because a lot of times we're like, okay, I have a work history, but none of it has to do with data analysis, right? And so here, ChatGPT can actually help you come up with the reasons why you're a good fit for this role. So as a dancer, I hone my discipline and attention to detail, as well as my abilities to quickly analyze and adapt to new choreographies. That's amazing. And these skills directly translate to data analysis, where precision, meticulousness, and adaptability are key. How many people would have been able to come up with that? Like, usually only the best salesmen, marketers are able to think in this way, where they're like, I'm a dancer. How does that relate to data science, right? And so now we can leverage ChatGPT to do that for us. And that's super powerful, because then we're like, oh my God, I can use, look at this, using customer service roles, problem solving abilities, hone my communication skills. It's awesome. And it really, man, it makes me feel like, oh man, I thought these skills were useless, but it ends up that these skills are really powerful in terms of selling my ability to break into this new industry. So ChatGPT is able to make these links that we never, we oftentimes neglect to think about or just overlook because it's not something that we kind of think about. But these type of things where you think I'm just a pizza boy, just went dancing. You don't think that can show that why you're a good fit for a technical industry, because you're just automatically thinking, oh, no one's going to care about me. But now ChatGPT can kind of give you that leverage to do that. And so this gives you even less excuses when you're applying for jobs to tailor your cover letter and resumes to companies. So I'm going to give you a little bit sidetrack recommendation here. But when you guys are applying for jobs, you guys want your stuff to be tailored to the companies. So a lot of people just go and apply to hundreds of companies in a day. That's not really a great strategy, because your resume looks like you're just doing a flyby. You're just doing a drive-by, and that's it. You're just throwing it into their mail and hoping that you get picked. You want to think about what these guys care about. So, if let's say you were to go apply to a bank, what I would do is I would go and I would research the bank. I figure out what they care about, like what are they passionate about? Are they client oriented? Are they passionate about small businesses, diversity, whatever, right? And then you just say it to ChatGPT. So the company I am applying for cares about diversity deeply. As a minority, I think I am a good fit. Also, it is a family-owned business, and I am a family-oriented person. Update my letter to target this company. And again, you just keep pruning. And then think about it, when you are if you're a hiring manager and you see, like, the way, look at it as a proud member of the prime minority community, like it just makes it is like, oh, I care about that. That's like one of the things that I really care about. Then you're really targeting what they care about. And so these are all the things you always want to do. You want to keep massaging the write-ups until it fits your voice, but it allows you to at least get started. And so this allows you to kind of rise above everyone else who's still doing the same thing. So again, less than 15% of the population are using ChatGPT or even tried ChatGPT. So that means that if you guys use ChatGPT to write things that are more, targeted, this is going to separate you from everybody else and help you get the job that nobody else can get, because you are writing your resume to target what this specific company wants. And of course, this can write your resume, your cover letter, and even reaching out to people. So I want to send a message to the hiring manager on LinkedIn to help me write a greeting that's less than 200 characters. And then if you go on LinkedIn, you can go and literally send this message to them. Boom, done. And so, and usually a lot of times we're kind of hesitant to do this stuff because we don't know the words to say, or we feel awkward. Now, this is a way to do it. I mean, you can even say like, oh, like, what if you did something mean? Like, I want to write an apology letter to my fans for disappointing them again, and then it's going to out and print out this. Again, we don't always know the right words, but ChatGPT allows us to find those words for us, so that we can kind of, again, we just become editors and until we can find what the right voice is. So number one was brainstorming. That's what I think ChatGPT is really powerful in. Number two is writing that first draft. I use it so much for writing the first draft because it just helps you move so fast and in terms of getting you to where you want to go, and at least getting that first draft in, so you can just worry about getting to that final draft getting your voice in so it doesn't sound like a robot, because I mean it doesn't sound like you. It's never going to be able to sound like you until it knows your voice. But that's really where you should be allocating and spending your time on. Okay. And the last thing, oh, this is really neat. So this is, you can actually use it for coaching now, right? So let's say you're saying, okay, I am going to paste my resume into the message box. I am going to ask you interview questions, and I want you to answer on my behalf. I want to do interview training so I can be prepared for the again, software developer job at a media company. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy my resume. All right. And then here it's going to tell us a lot of questions, and you can actually it'll already give you the answers for you. So this is great in terms of now, if you guys are nervous about, yeah, what are your strengths and weaknesses? If you guys are nervous about how to answer questions in an interview, now you can actually see, you paste in your resume, and now this will give you sample answers to you for you to work through. So this is amazing, again, because this is now, you really have no excuses in terms of like, oh, I don't know what to say when I'm in a technical interview. You guys should read this and see like, oh, does this work? Oh, this works, or this doesn't work, right? And so it always gives pretty good answers, to be honest. It's definitely above like, average. And so because of that, it really allows you to just kind of makes me go like, oh man, this is a great way to express myself in a way that I never really thought about. So I don't know about you guys, but I tend to like kind of something a little bit negative about myself, or anyone could have done what I just did. But when you hear ChatGPT write about it and the way they word it in a way that's really positive, and leveraging the stuff that I'm the experience I've had, you really go like, oh man, that is really powerful. That does sound good. And then you start to see, this is really the difference between good sales and not good sales. Like when you hear Donald Trump something and he's selling people on stuff, like it works. That's why he has so many diehards. And whether we like him or not, he has that diehard audience because he's a good salesman. And all these people that are in the news all the time, whether you're Elon Musk or Kim Kardashian, like these people are really good at attracting attention. And that's kind of what ChatGPT can help you do in terms of putting a spotlight on your experience and making you become better. So this becomes this coach where you can practice questions that they will ask, and so then you can kind of come back in a way that that would really help you. Like for instance, I never knew what the answer was, which is like, what's your greatest weakness? But I guess this is here. I'm identified place I can grow on, time management, whatever, all these little things, that's like, I never knew how to answer those, but now I have a sample answer here. So these are really great ways that you can use to practice, to practice your own interview skills. Or, if you are going, let's say you're going on a sales call or something, and you want to cold call outreach somebody, you can come up with something that, well, I just thought about this right now because I think I should do this myself. But yeah, you can go and actually have practice answers to see how do you say stuff in a way that, gets across what you're trying to say. And, for, I think job interviews is a big weakness for a lot of people. So this is a really great way to get started. And what is another? Oh yeah. So you can even like, and so again, you can also use it for many things. So like, let's say you're like, you are my dating coach. Teach me to talk to the cute receptionist at the dental office. What do I say to ask her out? without looking like a weirdo when in front of families and kids, right? Weird, right? Because you're like, oh, I can't ask her out because it's in front of like families and kids, right? So you go and express yourself in that way. And so then you can go and do that. No, I want a script. Give me a script on what to say. Oops. Ooh, stage 1. Look at that. And then it can help you. Boom. So how is it? Pleasant to come in. How's your day going? I noticed you were playing this. I love them too. And then, oh, there's this band playing next week. Do you want to come out? That's amazing. It gives you the words and it totally works. This is like a great way without feeling like a weirdo. She loves Star Wars. How do I ask her out? And this is good. This is even better than I thought. Even animation about a Star Wars thing. Look at that. Oh, this is so good. So now, if you ever feel awkward about reaching out to somebody, asking someone out on a date, going on a job interview, writing your cover letter, resume, brainstorming ideas, look at how much ChatGPT has done for us. It's amazing. This is incredible. And so look at all this. This is really what ChatGPT is allowing us to. It's allowing us to get through that crap where we don't know how to get through that first step. Now ChatGPT can do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step. And at that point, you're just keep moving. You just keep accelerating, keep pruning, keep changing until you find something that you like. And that is really the power of ChatGPT. I hope you guys could really see like everything from brainstorming to writing that first draft to coaching yourself. You can learn so much. And this even goes into, foreign languages. If you want to go practice foreign language, you can use it as a foreign language teacher. And these are all these things that it can do for you. So that's why I think you guys should all be on this bus, because it is it's a really powerful weapon. It's something that's going to change the whole society, and it gives you guys an opportunity to do everything you guys wanted to do and dreamed about, but never knew how to get started. So now there's a lot less excuses because, like video equipment is cheaper than ever. Posting, pictures is cheaper than ever. You can use, oh my God, I can even show you guys AI for using Midjourney, which is amazing too. But I don't want to take this away from ChatGPT. I'm going to focus on this, but yeah, you can use everything. I just showed you how to create a board game. I showed you how to write a skits for YouTube, and that could be a real board game that you guys could create and publish and have your own friends play to see if there's something they like, and amazing opportunity. So that's kind of the end of this little tidbit here. And anyone have any questions about this? Yeah. Let me know. Reach out to me. Give you my email. Yeah, reach out to me and let me know what you're doing. And AI, so we're doing a lot of AI. So I'm going to tell you too about AI software. So a lot of the plugins, I think, again, we're so new, we don't really know what works. That's why if you guys try, I haven't tried many plugins, but a lot of people are saying the plugins are kind of falling flat right now. There's a reason for that. Again, we just don't know how to use it. Now it seems like AI is best fit for when we're amplifying stuff. So I'm going to give you a little example of how I'm going to be using AI for my students. So I teach at UCLA, and one of the things we're going to do is I'm going to try to create a movie app where people can write in what movies they like. I like Pulp Fiction, I like Star Wars, I like Mandalorian, I like Marvel, right? And then you can say, okay, find me a cult classic horror movie based on what I like. And so then it will be able to come up with a creative idea. Again, brainstorming, right? It'll come up with a creative movie that, that would be fitting of my taste. And so that's kind of, I think, where AI is going to be, where it's kind of more in the targeted. And so we're training you. I'm here teaching you guys how to use ChatGPT, but I think most of the general population won't be using ChatGPT. I think most people will be using it as an addendum to their current software. So kind of like how I was saying, where you have a movie app and then you want to get a specific recommendation, like in a specific category that's very, nuanced. That's where ChatGPT will be really good at. Any other questions? No questions or thoughts? Okay. No other questions or thoughts or a conversation piece or any questions? Nothing? Really? Okay. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how you guys don't have questions. It's huge. Okay. So I do want to end off with one more thing. So one of the things is that in coding, so ChatGPT is built off of coding. And I think one of the most exciting things in this moving forward is how much coding is going to change with AI. It's going to allow us to code a lot more, do a lot less mundane stuff. And I think coding is going to be more important. It's going to make the people who know how to code even more valuable because it's basically going to accentuate and amplify whatever our coding abilities are. So I do want to invite everyone. If you guys want to join a coding class, we have a free coding class for everyone who wants to apply. But you can go in and try to see what it's like to code, because once you can learn how to code, then you'll be able to leverage AI in a way that other people can. And learning how to code, it sounds like it's just learning a language, but really it's much more than that. It's what you're trying to do is solve problems using technology. And if you are experienced at technology, you can solve problems that other people cannot, because they're limited by the way they can express themselves. And learning the language of the computer allows you to use AI on a level that other people can't. And so that's why the people who are technical are going to be even more valuable in the future, because they're going to be able to do even more stuff and make them even more powerful. Okay. How does Bard compare? I'll be honest, I don't like Bard so far. I think they're early. They just got in the game, so I'm not, judging them yet. I think they need time to get their stuff in. ChatGPT has been earlier. So if you click on the link above, you'll see a calendar, and then you can book a class based on whenever you want to try the free coding class. But yeah, Bard still, I think, needs some work. And ChatGPT is constantly growing, and the amount of information they're putting into it is growing. And yeah, I don't know. I just think we're in the beginning of a new age. And so the people who learn how to leverage this stuff, they're really going to advance really quickly. And so that's why, I heard this one quote, and I really think it's really true. The people are worried that AI is going to take their jobs, but I think what it's really going to be is that the people who learn how to use AI are going to take the jobs of the people who don't know how to use AI. So that's why I do encourage you guys to use it. And again, super powerful in terms of connecting dots and doing things that we have a little bit more difficult time doing, brainstorming, that type of stuff. The coding class, it's a one-time class, and then you get to try to sit in on whatever normal classes to see if this is something a good fit for you. And I'll tell you one thing. So I teach at UCLA, but I also teach at Popcorn Robot. So I have two schools to teach in. And one of the things I'm really excited about Popcorn Robot is we're not accredited, right? And you click on a check next availability, and then you'll see what the next date is. We're not accredited. And there's one of the reasons for that is because it takes 5 years to get your curriculum accredited, to get your curriculum to be like, okay, this is good. Now, think about that. 5 years ago, I think the iPhone 8 was released. That is a long time ago. And think about how much has changed. Yet, if you want to know what the most cutting edge education model would look like, it would be something from iPhone 8 time. Now, with AI dropping in, look at how much has changed. And so to us in our program, Popcorn Robot, we're like, we got to adapt to this immediately because AI is completely changing the game, changing the way we're approaching coding, and changing what we're doing. And so we're already incorporating this into our program. We're already incorporating this to our oh, I didn't even tell you guys about this, but this is really exciting. But we have a consulting program. So we're not only are we teaching you guys coding, now we have a consulting branch. We open up a consulting branch because the whole thing is what we want to do is we want to, during your education, we want to actually have you guys work on real life clients. So one of our clients is a e-commerce company, makeup company. But what they're doing is that they're selling makeup, and what we're doing is we are incorporating AI into their software already. So here you're going to be able to actually create real life software for real life clients, get paid for it, and then also you can be touching AI. So that's incredible because how many companies are doing it, and yet because we're really small and nimble, we're able to move very quickly. And so we're already capitalizing on the AI revolution. We're already pushing AI features to our client, and we're already in conversation. We just had a conversation today where they're like, we want it. So this is what we want. We want a chatbot that's going to help us take care of our support staff and just allow the humans to do the work that humans should do, not the annoying stuff that computers should do. Oh, absolutely. So if you want to, let me get my LinkedIn. So that's why it's really incredible. And I highly, highly recommend you guys learn how to code. Coding won't be obliterated by AI. In fact, it's just going to make us more important because we can do more things and go to a reach that other people can't. 3-hour session. So the first hour in the class is actually me and you talking together. And then after that, the class is 2.5 hours. But the first hour, I just kind of want to show you guys what the school is about. It's kind of like a little bit of a, I forgot what the word is, but it's like a little intro, and then we kind of talk to make sure we understand your goals and that type of stuff. Cool. We teach you JavaScript and Python. The reason being, these are the two most popular languages in the industry right now. JavaScript is the most powerful. You learn these two, and you have a job pretty much anywhere because every company is leveraging these in some regard. Because whether it's super powerful and oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think anyone, it's used for anybody. Is he looking at learning coding? Man, kids that learn coding early, my gosh, they have such a head start. It's incredible. Cool. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And at very worst, this is the at the very worst, you get to see if it's for you. You know? Yeah, yeah, it's true. Cool. Any other questions or thoughts? Can you have them work on a project? Yeah. So when they're coming on, so one of the things I do is like, I'm not a really big believer in lectures. I like you guys to work because I feel the best way to learn how to code is to code. And the more you code, the better you get. It's kind of like if you were to speak Spanish, I'm not going to go and lecture you about the whole way of doing sentence construction and all that stuff. That doesn't really help you learn anything. The best way to learn how to code is through coding. The best way to learn how to speak Spanish is by speaking Spanish. Very cool. Any other questions or thoughts? Did you click on check next availability? Reload the page and click it again. See if that helps. Different language model on AI. What do you mean a different language model? AI is, yeah. What do you mean by that? A different language model? That's, I think we have to be clear on that. Yeah, you can actually use API calls to ChatGPT, which I think once we can figure out how to use it well, I think very early, we're barely in an infant stage in AI, which again astounds me. Every day I'm seeing new stuff. And no, so I don't use generative, I don't do neural, I just straight up use ChatGPT. There's At this point, I'm just trying to leverage what ChatGPT is given to us and then build from that. Reload the page and click on check next availability. Yeah, actually, and I haven't explored this, but there's another open source AI that's actually making the rounds as well. I don't really know what that is right now, but apparently it's growing at a phenomenal rate as well. So everything is, it's again, this is kind of like we have this big tussle of movement, and we're kind of just trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, absolutely, Amazon has more AI than almost any of these tech companies, and they haven't even started yet. That's an incredible thing. Yeah. So again, I think it's amazing. I have no idea. Yeah, 20 seconds probably the next one. Yeah, so it's really incredible to see where we're going with this. And again, learning how to code is just we'll not even say learning how to code. Let's just say learning technical abilities. Learning how to have technical abilities allows you to do things other people won't be able to do. And it won't even matter whether you're configuring AWS, you're coding, it doesn't even matter. You understand things that other people can't go, allows you to go to areas that other people can't go. And so with AI, it's going to amplify everyone's abilities and amplify the difference between those who can code and those who can't. Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, and I did want to say that on June 21st, I'm going to be having a meetup session on how coding has changed. Yeah, you're going to have, unfortunately, the dates got booked up because a few people booked some classes. But yeah, on June 21st, I'm going to be talking about how ChatGPT has changed coding. So today we kind of talked about how ChatGPT has changed our daily life, but coding, we're going to see how coding has changed, because that has changed tremendously too. So now things like Stack Overflow, where we use like a Q&A site for coders, now that's kind of removed itself. So again, there's a lot of changes going on right now with AI. It's really exciting time. So it's amazing, just amazing. And it is so groundbreaking. I'm telling you, you are going to remember, you're going to look back in your life and say, this was a time before and after AI. Just like how we say that with the internet, just like how we say with the social media. And I think AI is the biggest of them all. That's how huge this is. And as you can see, I think with my examples, I've effectively eliminated your excuses for not coming up with your own board game, not coming up with your own video game, not coming up with your own story, your own YouTube channel, your own Twitter account. You want to do anything, everything, now you should be able to do it, because you effectively have no more excuses. You want to be J.K. Rowling, you should be able to do it, because now you got the ideas, you got the first draft. Now you just need to make it to what you always dreamed about. And I think that's the thing. Like, we're in this world where a lot of people are very critical and like, oh, like I don't like this story because this story is stupid. This thing was dumb. Okay, then do it better. Now you can. Now you can make it better, Exactly, Allison. That's a great example. Yeah, I'll probably have more. I think I want to explore Midjourney for you guys as well. That's a image creation, and oh my god, that is just wild, absolutely wild. I love it. All the images you see on my meetup, they're all AI images. None of them are real. None of them are drawn by human beings. All done by AI. Everything you see on the meetup is AI. So if you guys or attracted to it at any regard, it's because AI did its job. But yeah, it's incredible. AI will be able to make films. So you want to think about this. That's funny. You want to think about this. Okay, we can. Okay, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Can I get this to share? No. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Can't tell if you guys see my screen. Yes? Okay. So let's say that you wanted, see, look at this, look at all these images I'm coming up with without having to. So let's say I want to come up with a robot teaching a class in a cyberpunk world, sunset outside the window. So you can go and give a prompt to Midjourney, which is the AI image creating service, and it will create an image for you. Unfortunately, it just takes a little bit of time. But let me show you some of the cool images I've created. So these are futuristic classroom workspace with humans. Really neat. I like to do robots. That's our theme, right? Let me see if I. Oh, yeah. If you look at this and you will see, if you saw my webpage and you will see, this looks familiar. So I'm using like beautiful pictures with a hidden portal. See, all these images are all just created by AI, just like this one. And so this is a picture that we just created together. A robot teaching in a classroom with the sunset outside. It's amazing. So yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to do a class on that. So, okay, why do I get into this? Okay, so if AI can make one image, then it can make subsequent images. And videos and films are just multiple images in a row to create some illusion of motion. So that's why it's going to be able to do it. It's going to be able to make films. It's already can make voices. They have videos of Joe Rogan speaking in Spanish using his voice. Incredible. And so it's just a matter of time. So right now, again, we're in the infancy. We're able to do slices of images, but over time, we're going to be able to do more and more and more and more complicated until you will be able to create your own Hollywood special effects creation, your own movies. And you won't have to need actors. You won't need anything anymore. And so again, these gatekeepers are being removed from us because the power of AI and technology is amplifying our abilities. But yeah, it's very early, but in time it'll get there. All right, so that's the end of class. If no one has any more questions, you guys can call it a night. And really thank you for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed today's class. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Thank you, George. All right, have a good night, guys. Take care, everyone.